Hey there, and welcome back to That Was History. I'm Langston, your host for today. Today's topic for discussion is not a happy one, but you have to remember that history comes with the good and the bad. That's what makes it history. We're able to look back at everything we've done as a people and use that information to guide society into the future. Join me and let's take a look at the tragic tale of the death of Marie Antoinette. We've seen it time and time again in recent history. Many countries have been under a monarchy-style rule and are now revolting and demanding that their voice be heard. It makes perfect sense to me because no one wants their lifestyle and living conditions to be determined by a single person. When one person holds all of the power, every law and ordinance will be made in their best interest. The country is controlled by their own personal agenda. Due to this, we have seen many revolts over the years. The American Revolutionary was a great example, but the French Revolution is where we're going to stay today. The unfortunate ruler of France before the revolution was King Louis XVI. We won't go into everything he did, whether it be good or bad, but the main reason the revolution happened was because the royalty and wealthy were living it up while the rest of the country had no money, were starving, and taxes were rising on the poor while staying low for the rich. Eventually, the lower class became fed up and revolted. This was bad news for old King Louis and his wife Marie Antoinette. The king was arrested and separated from his family in August of 1792, and France was declared a republic by September of that year. In January of 1793, a convention was held to determine the fate of King Louis XVI. There were 721 deputies at the convention, and after a vote, 288 voted to imprison the king, 72 voted for the death penalty, but 361 voted for his immediate death. Due to the majority, King Louis was beheaded by guillotine on the 21st of January. Unfortunately for Marie Antoinette, her trial did not come until much later. Her trial date was October 14th of 1793, in which she was accused of orchestrating orgies in Versailles, wasting the kingdom's money on personal matters, plotting to kill the Duke of Orleans, having incest with her own son, declaring her son to be the new king of France, and orchestrating the massacre of the Swiss Guards in 1792. I do want to point out that a lot of these accusations were insanely false and had no evidence to support them. After 2 days of proceedings, Marie Antoinette was found guilty for treason on October 16th of 1793 and died in the same fashion as her husband. She stayed composed until the very end and even apologized to her executioner by saying, "Pardon me, sir, I meant not to do it," after she accidentally stepped on him when climbing the scaffold. I would argue that neither of these rulers deserved the death penalty, but I suppose that it was just the way things were done back in that time period. What are your thoughts on the king and Marie Antoinette? What punishment would you have given them for their crimes against France? Leave me a comment down below. Thanks for watching this episode from That Was History. Be sure to use the annotations on screen to see more great history shorts, as well as check out our social media sites. That's all for today, and I'll see you back here on Friday.